Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvaradhari Yashodanandana Jaya Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Banachari Yamunatira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nitagara Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitagara Hari Bol Nitagara Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitagara Hari Bol Jai Jai Prabhupada 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada Jai Jai Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Gaur Pranandi Hari Bol Jai Vishnupad Brahmas Pravisar Sota Shashishmat A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Anant Gauri Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharal Shridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Ko Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shivasati Gaurtvind Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopnath श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय वृंदावन धाम की जय नवदीप धाम की जय गंगा माई की जय यमुना माई की जय तुलसी देवी की जय भक्ति देवी की जय गौर प्रेम नंदी हरि हरि बोल all glories to assemble devotees all glories to assemble devotees all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada ji ki jai Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya So we are continuing our study of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 47 and verse 31. Atmagya Maya Siddho Atmagyana Maya Siddho Vyaktirito Gunao Vaya Vaktirikto Gunavaya Shushpati Sapna Jagrapadbhir Shushupati Swapna Jagrabhir Maya Vritabhir Tityate Maya Bhapati Bhirayate Atmagyana Maya Shadro Vyaktirakto Gunavayam Sushuprati Swapna Jagrabhir Maya Vritibhir Tajyate Atmagyana Maya Shuddho Vritiyukto Gunavaya Sushuprati Swapana Jagradavir Maya Vritibhir Tajyate. Anyone wants to try? Atmagyana Maya Shruto Raktiruto Gunavaya Shushupriti Swapana Jagrabdir Maya Vitibhir Ityate. Okay. Word to word translation. Atma, the soul. Gyan Maya, comprising transcendental knowledge. Shuddha, pure. Vyaktirikto, separate. Aguna and Vyala. Uninvolved in the reactions of the material modes. Shushipti, in deep sleep. Swapna, ordinary sleep. Jagradibhi, and waking consciousness. Maya, of the material energy. Vrittibhi, by the functions. Yate, is perceived. Translation by the disciples of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ji ki jai. Being composed of pure consciousness or knowledge, the soul is distinct from everything material and is uninvolved in the entanglements of the modes of nature. We can perceive the soul through the three functions of material nature, known as wakefulness, sleep, and deep sleep. Please repeat. Be composed of pure consciousness or knowledge. The soul is distinct from everything material and is uninvolved in the entanglements of the modes of nature. We can perceive the soul through the three functions of material nature, known as wakefulness, sleep, and deep sleep. Om Jnana Tarmandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshuritmena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Purport. It is clearly stated here that the soul, Atma, is constituted of pure knowledge, pure consciousness, and is thus ontologically distinct from the material nature. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti points out that the word Atma may be taken to mean the Supreme Soul, Lord Krishna. Since the Lord has just explained in the previous verses that all material phenomena are expansions of Himself, the phrase Maya Vrittibhir Yate indicates that by studying this word deeply, we will come to the perception of God from this point of view also. The gopis are advised not to lament. Om Jnana Tarmanasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshuritmilabana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. So, now, like in the previous word, the Lord was, or rather Uddhava. Now the context is like this, in this chapter, Uddhava is actually Krishna sent Uddhava to where? To bridge to Vrindavan. Why he sent Uddhava to Vrindavan? Because he wants him to understand the pure love. Plus, he wanted to send message through Uddhava to gopis who were lamenting so deeply and were in so much anxiety, and they were frail and they were very anxious. And they were waiting for Krishna to come and console them. So Krishna couldn't go, so instead he sent his friend Uddhava, who more or less looks like Krishna himself, his features are very, very similar to Krishna. So he wanted him to learn the prema actually of gopis. He wanted to, in a way, educate him also. But at the same time, he wanted to inform gopis that I haven't forgotten them, in spite of the fact I am in Vrindavan or in Mathura. That doesn't mean my heart is not in Vrindavan. So he wanted to convey that. So that's the context. And in this chapter, actually Radharani is talking to B. And so she's pouring her heart out and telling her how much they miss her. At times she's angry. At times she laments. At times he's pouring out her all the emotions for Krishna. So this chapter involves that. And in this verse, actually, Uddhava is conveying what Krishna has said. And so Krishna had said to him that actually I myself create and sustain this material universes. I am the one who is the energy behind it. All these material elements, and including senses and the modes of material nature. So Krishna is trying to convey to gopis through Uddhava, this message, And basically he's trying to convey to gopis that you shouldn't think that it's impossible for me to be situated within you in Braja. So he's indirectly telling him that you think I can't be in Braja, and that's what you think? Though I am in Mathura? Because you don't know, I have conceivable shaktis, means powers, which cannot be conceived by you. So I have those kinds of powers, And I have various powers. I manifest myself. I disappear, continually maintaining myself in myself. Since I am the basis, the cause, I am the action and the doer. So he's trying to portray, but gopis don't understand these material mechanics of how this universe is working and how Krishna is in this universe and how he is maintaining, creating all that, So that they don't want to know. Krishna is conveying through Uddhava, but they don't care. So Krishna is telling in the verse that being composed of pure consciousness and knowledge, he's talking about soul. This soul is distinct from everything material. See, Krishna has actually two forms of energy. One is spiritual energy and other one is material energy. And what is the spiritual energy? Spiritual energy is like his expansions. And Jivatmas are also his spiritual energy. And it's also called spiritual energy, The soul is always eternal. So all the jivas, all living entities have soul. And the soul is eternal. Mm. Uh, and Krishna confirms in Bhagavad Gita that the soul is of the same quality as Krishna is. So this is his spiritual energy, The only difference is that we are Anu. Anu means we are very, 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 very tiny fragment, whereas Krishna it's so big in quantity, Like if we take a drop of water from the sea, the constitution of that water drop and the ocean is the same quality, but quantity is different. Ocean is huge and drop is tiny. So all these living entities are the part and parcel of Krishna. It has all the same ingredients, qualities, And what are the qualities? Because soul is eternal. Krishna explains later on in Bhagavad Gita in deep that how soul is eternal. In chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita, he explains it cannot be cut, it can't be withered. So it goes in very, very deep. And so is Krishna. Because those are the qualities of Krishna. So soul is always eternal. And then there is material energy, which are his shaktis in a way, And material energy are like this earth planet, like earth, water, fire, air, and ether, So these are the material energies. So basically there are 8 energies within this, Like in the material world, like mind, intelligence, and false ego is the spiritual energy. And the other 5 are the material energies, And this material energy is called Prakriti. Prakriti means material nature. So material nature, actually, how he does it, he expands. Krishna can do that, Krishna expands, Like we know the expansions of Krishna, Like he expands into Balram, and from Balram, Sankarshan, Aniruddha, all that, There are 4 expansions, and out of that, again, there are 4 expansions. And then there are Mahavishnu, Shrodakshay Vishnu, Karandakshay Vishnu. So he enters each and every universe, and then in the like he creates all these material planets, and then he enters each as Garbhadakshay Vishnu, And then he's sitting in the heart of every living entity. So that these are his expansions, And but material energy is separated, but spiritual energy is connected in a way, And that's why Krishna is emphasizing that I am with you. Like if you meditate and try to remember Krishna, after lots and lots of practice, actually you can achieve the Krishna within your heart. In the past it has been done. And who did it? Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruv Maharaj. He realized Shrodakshay Vishnu. So it is possible. So indirectly he's conveying to gopis that I am with you. It's just you have to find me. So that's what he's trying to convey, Now, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's Tika, I just wanted to So he says, the first meaning of the verse is as follows. How can the people of this world know my form? My form is beyond gunas, called Paramatma, and perceived everywhere. Same thing, So, because Lord is sitting within you as Paramatma with the Super Soul, so you can perceive him. Actually, he's directing your wanderings of the living entity. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that he's the directing all the activities of the. So anything we do, actually, we take sanction from who? Super Soul. So Super Soul is guiding us. All the decisions are made by not us, but sanctioned by Super Soul. So, because we know that in Brahma Samhita it says, Ishwar Param Krishna, Sat Chit Anand Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarva Karanam Karanama. So he is the cause of all causes, and he is telling what the qualities are. Sat Chit Anand. Sat means eternal. The soul is eternal. Chit means it's full of knowledge. Anand means it's full of bliss. So these are the quality or nature of the soul, so that's what he's saying. So he's trying to tell gopis in a way that although I stay in Mathura, my heart is in Vrindavan. And I am not contaminated, he's saying, by the association of women in Mathura. So he's trying to tell us that gopis remind them, okay, he's not associating with women, but he's remembering the gopis indirectly, So he's conveying this through Uddhava, So Uddhava is telling all these things to the gopis, The Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti points out the word Atma may also be taken to mean supreme soul. Since the Lord just explained in the previous verse that all material phenomena are expansion of himself. See, material and spiritual both are expansion of himself. So super soul means Krishna is sitting within your heart also. So since Atma is knowledge, and thus the very form of knowledge itself revealing, though it is connected with the gunas, since it's different from unsteady mental functions, the Atma is pure. So Atma, we know, soul is pure. It cannot be contaminated. Like no matter what you do, like even Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, that you are killing, actually, you are not killing. Because you're killing the body, not the soul. So he goes into, so in the body, the mind is very important. Mind is the thing which can connect or disconnect. So this is actually a conclusion of all, that control of mind is very important, And but at the same time, Arjuna says, mind is very difficult to control. And Krishna agrees in a way, yes. But Krishna also tells, by practice, you can control it. But you have to do practice, where we do yoga. Some people do yoga for physical goodness or whatever. But yoga is actually to control the mind. So it's very important because the conclusion of all scripture is how to control mind. That you have to control your mind, And people do in various ways to control mind. Like they control senses. Even vrata you take, you're trying to control your senses, You take sannyas, you're trying to control your senses in a way so that you can progress further, So all these yoga systems are meant for actually controlling the mind, Like sannyas you take, renunciation, that's also controlling the mind to progress in spirituality, Like in vanaprastha, you do austerities, you leave home, or don't do certain. So all these austerities are upliftment of the soul, or for Krishna, towards Krishna, Like charity also, for grasta. If they can't do anything, so if they give charity, so that uplifts them, And Krishna says, mind is friend as well as enemy. Depends how you use it. And so one must keep the mind in such a way to uplift it, not to downgrade it, So if it's like simple as this, what goes in, that goes out. That's mind is, It's like a sponge. Mind is like a sponge. You put in dirty water, and then squeeze it, what will come out? Dirty water. So if you put it in the pure water and you squeeze it, pure will come. So that's the quality of mind, It can be your friend, means in a way that it can help you out, or it can put you in very difficulty. And the other faculty, which is mouth, is also very important because it can put you in trouble, or it can put you in a good situation. So just how you say things, So you can create a very angry situation, and it can lead to fight even for your death. It can involve you in such a way. But the same sweet words, if you speak, it can uplift you. Same thing with mind. So mind can, if you engage in the spiritual activities, it can uplift you. If you do tyaga, if you do vrata, if you do study of scriptures, it lifts you. All the things in mode of goodness will lift you. But we have to go beyond the modes of material nature. So we have to rise even above the modes of goodness, So that's what one has to do. So like we know the quality of mind is that it's very chanchal. Chanchal means it's not steady, It just flickers here and there, like one thought after the other, one thought after the other. And so that's the problem with mind, that it's very chanchal. That's because it wants to enjoy. And that's the reason we are here, Because we want to lord it over. That's why we are here in this material world. That we want to lord it over, and Krishna says, okay, if you want to lord it over, do yourself. And who is telling that? Who is I? Mostly it's mind. There is mind, and then there is intelligence, that's the hierarchy, Mind, then intelligence we have, and on top of that what we have is soul. So that's how it is. So soul, the mind is part of soul in a way. And that's where it carries you, So that's why mind is very important instrument or vehicle to take you to a spiritual world, And that's what Uddhava is trying to convey indirectly to gopis, that I am there in Vrindavan with you. I'm situated in your heart. All you have to see is remember me. And gopis don't want to care. I mean, they don't want to listen to all these mechanics, of working. They just want to love Krishna, in pure prema. So they don't want to go there, So, and Krishna is telling them in different ways that I'm with you. I haven't left. I remember you. I'm in Vrindavan, And it's very difficult because this is remembering of Krishna in separation, Like somehow Krishna enjoys parkiya bhav. Parkiya bhav means he is very, he does things to enhance the love, like love between gopis, like Krishna is not married to Radharani, but still he enhances the love, It's like parkiya bhav in material world is like this, You want to eat a mango and you see in somebody's garden there is a beautiful mango, You want to steal it and then eat it, right? When you steal and eat, it's different kind of excitement within you, and that's parkiya bhav, That's the excitement that you're stealing it. You're thinking you might be caught and this and that, whatever. But there is some kind of satisfaction that you got this nice mango, you stole it, and you're even enjoying more. So it's the same thing is the parkiya bhav, and it's polluted here. In Krishna's word, it's very, very clean, So that's how Krishna enhances love, and that's why he is not there. And it is enhancing by being absent, his love is being enhanced, for gopis, So this whole dialogue in this chapter is of Radharani, who is talking to Bumblebee, because she's missing Krishna so much. So that's the whole conversation in this chapter, The thing is, we can talk about how to control mind, but Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, yes, you can do it. And what's the process? Practice. And other part of it is detachment. Practice, 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 practice. And what we do, we are chanting. Why we are chanting? We are practicing. Again, again, and again, and again. And if you do that, then what will happen? It will permanently sink your heart. How do you remember? See, if you have to remember a poetry, what do? You study it, Repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. And finally, you will get it in your memory, So same thing is the chanting process, that you're chanting and chanting and chanting and chanting for lifetimes. The only thing is that because mind is very chanchal, so mind goes here and there. So you have to bring it back. Bring it back, bring it back. And Krishna says, if you do that, time and again, time and again, time and again, it's controllable. It will happen, So all you have to do is to control the mind. Means you have to practice it, It's like we have many examples. If the child doesn't know how to ride a bike, you just, help him out slowly, and slowly he practices, and after practice he can ride the bike by himself, You tricycle, and maybe we have seen, there's so many ways. So main thing is that all this mantra meditation we are doing, it's the best way to control our mind. It keeps our mind focused in Krishna service, And Krishna likes his devotee, and he loves it, his devotees, So main problem is that somehow or the other we have to control our mind and also stay away from elements of being in lust, anger, and greed, which aggravates the mind. So it's like a dirty water, So you have to stay away from Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar, These are the dirty waters or impure things for the soul, If you do that, if you go after lust, greed, anger, all that, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh. Moh means attachment, to different things, Ahankar means pride. So it's degrading, all this, So in order to purify your mind, you have to stay away. Like Krishna says, we do things which are favorable to the bhakti, to devotional service, and we stay away from things which are not good for bhakti, So that's indirectly way of controlling your mind. And all the scripture says controlling your mind is very, very important, because that's how mind is your best friend, And it will assist you in going to Krishna. So I think we have a few minutes. Maybe we can talk about mind if somebody wants to reflect on their experiences. Yes, Mother. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Prabhupada was talking all about controlling the mind, and he said that our movement is meant to be pure devotional service, no other fruit of activity, karma, jnana. He said, Anyabilasitashanyam. And he said the way to control the mind, he says, is to be fully engaged in Krishna's service.
Right.
Service of chanting and hearing and some practical service. He said, but 24 hours a day.
Yes.
And then he said, then you can very easily attain Krishna. He says, you'll see Krishna. You'll see him in the holy name. Right. He said, but don't think that, like by going to the church or going to the temple one day a week, that is going to control your mind. He said it's meant to be every single day of your life, every moment. And he said, and that's what I'm giving you. I've come to give pure devotional service. So it was a very beautiful class by Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah. Yeah, I was reading elsewhere, even here. I mean, it says one of the important points is that you need to remind yourself that all activities should be done by keeping Krishna in center. See, always keep Krishna in center, you know. So when Krishna gets pleased by your endeavor, then your life becomes successful. So that's what Srila Prabhupada says, you know. So anybody else? Okay. Jai Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah.
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvandam Maravindanalayataptam Varhavatam Samasitam Buddhasundarangam Kandar Agom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Asa Sakalen Priya Priti Manti Pasyanti Panti Kayanti Chiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Jago Gora Chandra Bole Ji Jago Gora Chandra Bole Kota Nidra Jao Maya Pishachira Gole Nidra Jao Maya Pishachira Gole Bajibo Bolia Eshe Samsara Vitore Bajibo Bolia Eshe Samsara Vitore Bolia Rohile to me Havidyara Bare Bolia Rohile to me Havidyara Bare Tomare loite ami Hoi nu avatara Tomare loite ami Hoi nu avatara Ami bina banduara Kayache tomara Kayache tomara Enichia Saudi Maya Nasibano lagi Enichia Saudi Maya Nasibano lagi Harinama Maha Mantra Lord to me magi Harinama Maha Mantra Lord to me magi Bhakti Vinoda Prabhu Charane Pariya Bhakti Vinoda Prabhu Charane Se Hari Nama Mantra Loilo Magia Jiv Jago Gora Chandra Bole Jiv Jago Gora Chandra Bole Kota Nidra Jao Maya Vishachira Gole Kota Nidra Maya Chira Gole Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Jaya Radha Goloka Nanda Radha Goloka Nanda Hare Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Lord Gaurachandra is calling, wake up, sleeping soul, wake up, sleeping soul. How long will you sleep in the lap of the witch called Maya? You have forgotten the way of devotional service and are lost in the cycle of birth and death. I have descended just to save you. I am your only true friend. Other than me, what friend do you have? I have brought the medicine that will wipe out the disease of illusion from which you suffer. Take this great chant for deliverance, Maha Mantra, the names of Hari. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, falling at the Lord's lotus feet, take shelter of the Hari Nam Mantra, the Lord's holy names. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Ki Jai. Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Sreya Kairava Chandrika Vitarinam Vidya Vadu Jivanam Anandam Buri Vardhanam Pratipadam Purnam Viswatanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatra Nitami Amitas Manane Nakalaha Eta Drisita Vakripan Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrishani Hananina Nuraja Trinadapi Sunichena Darurapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadhari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Vajagarisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmanishvare Bhavatat Bhakti Rahatuki Tvayi Ayinanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitamam Vishame Bhavamburo Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Stita Duri Sadrisham Vinchantaya Nayanam Kalara Srudaraya Vadanam Gadgada Rudargira Pulakar Nichitam Vapukara Tavanamagrahane Bhavishyati Yuga Yutam Nimeshena Chakshusha Pravishayitam Sunyayitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Videhename Ashri Shava Pararatam Panastumam Adarsham Marhatam Karutova Yatatatava Vidatato Lampato Matmranastastu Saevana Paraha. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss. and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benedictions to living beings. And thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O son of Maharaj Nanda, Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord, unconditionally. Shri Shikshastakam ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Golokananda ki jai, Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Antakoti Vaishnava